Hello everybody, welcome back to Literature Tale Explorations. Today we are going to study about O Captain, My Captain poem written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was born in the year 1819 and he lived up to 1892. So that is around 72 years he lived. He was born in New York. He was one of the most well-known essayists. He was also a journalist and he was also a teacher at some point in his life. Also, he was considered one of the most influential poets in the American literature as well. Now, the present poem, O Captain, My Captain, is actually written which on the death of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of America, because Whitman admired Lincoln so much. After the assassination of Lincoln, after just right after the American Civil War, has left him very upset that he has written this poem on him. Not only this poem, another poem named When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloom is also written on the death of Lincoln. Basically, O Captain, My Captain is an elegy poem, meaning elegy poem is something when you write a poem lamenting the death of somebody else. You write your relation with them or how they are in person, can be anything. So, O Captain, My Captain is the elegy poem. But first of all, why did somebody has to assassinate Lincoln and what is this American Civil War is all about? Let us know in brief so that we can have this idea while we read the poem. So firstly, American Civil War. Civil War is the war that happens within the country among the organized two or more organized groups. Now, we already know that America is very much well known to have this slavery system. So slaves present there were not treated good. They were ill treated. They were not given this right to vote also, and they were not considered the citizens of the country. So they wanted the freedom. They wanted this abolition of slavery system. Abraham Lincoln was born in the year 1809 in Kentucky. He was born into a poor family and most of his life he self-educated himself and he became a lawyer. Also he participated in the election race in United States and won as the 16th President of America. So that was also the time when Industrial Revolution was rapidly growing and in the United States, northern states were very much okay with the industrialization because those northern states had this industrial setups, textile industry was boosting and there was less human labor required because that has replaced with the machinery, and the southern states were not okay with the industrialization because most of the southern states were plantation based, agricultural based, and they needed human labor more. So they thought if Lincoln is going to win the election race, then definitely he's going to abolish the slavery system, and that is a great threat to the southern states. So some organized groups in the southern states have formed a confederacy, that is they have seceded, they have separated themselves from the northern states, declaring themselves as the independent states and calling them as confederate states. So the northern states were known as the Union, which was led by Abraham Lincoln, and the southern state was known as the Confederate. That's how the American Civil War began in 1861 and it went up to 1865. So till 1865 there was this huge lots of blood, huge loss of human, and there was this lot of destruction happened to the infrastructure and the people and of all over the country. So the southern state people finally decided to surrender themselves to the northern states, and that's how American Civil War came to an end with the abolition of slavery system. Now Lincoln was the main reason for the victory of this American Civil War, and he had made the dream possible of finally abolishing the slavery system. So everything was set and everything was done. Civil War has ended. But just days after American Civil War ended, Lincoln was invited to this Ford's Theater where he was asked to watch a theater stage show drama. There, an American stage actor known as John Wilkes Booth, also he was a Confederate spy. He shot with his gun onto the head of Abraham Lincoln. That's how Lincoln was assassinated. Now, this thing has left Walt Whitman so devastated, so upset that he had written this poem. Also, Walt Whitman went to Washington D.C. during the American Civil War, and he served as a nurse to the wounded people there in the hospitals. So we'll see what Whitman has written in the poem. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rag. The prize we sought is won. Now here Walt Whitman addresses Lincoln as the captain, saying that our fearful trip is done. The frightening civil war is finally done. The ship, the ship represents here the United States. The United States has sustained every struggle, and the prize, the abolition of slavery that we wanted, is finally won. The port is the port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow as the steady kill, the vessel grim and daring. So the people, everybody are waiting near the port, they are with the bells, and they are all with the joy shouting for the captain to come to them. And they are only watching, their eyes are only watching the steady keel. The keel is actually the bottom of the ship, and they are only watching that pace with which the ship is coming near to them. And also the vessel grim and daring, the vessel actually is the ship itself. It looks grim and daring, just as if it has emerged from some battle with all the wounds, but in a daring and a courageous way. But oh, heart, 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 oh, the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Now here that there is something Whitman has seen and that he shouldn't have seen. Oh, heart, 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 he's upset about. Oh, the bleeding drops of red. There are some drops of blood on the deck. So the blood is actually the captain's, where he is lying fallen cold and he's dead. O captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle drills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores a crowding, for you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Now he has seen his captain lying fallen cold and dead. Now the Whitman is like, Captain, please rise up and see, because the people who are waiting near the shore, each and every person is waiting for you. The flag which you can see high flying in the air is flung for you, and the bugle is actually a semicircular instrument basically used in the military. So the bugle which is trilling is also for you. The bouquets and ribbon wreaths they have brought, they are for you. Ribbon wreaths are those circular garlands with the flowers and leaves which they usually present in honor of victory, or even in the funeral as well. So for you the shores are crowding. The crowding that you're seeing near the shore is everything for you. For you they are calling, and that floating crowd, each and everybody is just looking at you with their eager faces to meet. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. Now, now here Whitman also addresses Lincoln as dear father, because usually a father is considered the head of the family. He does a lot of things to the family by sacrificing everything. So just like that, Lincoln had been the father to the whole United States, and he led the American Civil War and made this abolition of slavery system possible. So also Whitman says that I have put my arm under your head, and you're not moving. So this all feels just like a dream, that you're no more and you're fallen cold and you're dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. Now Whitman says that I have put my arm under his head, but my captain is not answering me. His lips are pale and still. The lips which once used to deliver powerful speeches and inspire people are completely shut now, and we will never be able to hear him talk again. Now he also says that my father does not feel my arm. He has lost his pulse. Also the will or the strength which he had, is everything lost, and we cannot find it again, we cannot see that again, we cannot get to witness it again. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. Now Whitman is like, the ship is anchored safe and sound, meaning that the United States is free from the danger or the injury. Its journey with the American Civil War has finally, it is completed and it is done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object one. Again, the Whitman says that from fearful trip, from that the dangerous or the frightening civil war, we have come out victorious. We have come out with our object one, that is abolition of slavery system. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. So he says, so now finally this is how Whitman ends the poem, by asking all the people to celebrate the victory even in the absence of the captain, because that the captain, the Lincoln, has left behind a lot of peace to them, and that peace should be celebrated, that should be appreciated even in the absence. But personally to the Whitman, it is a lot of grief that the captain is no more, and he is grieving the death of the captain. So this is all about the poem. I hope you all like it. See you all in the next video. Bye bye.